Psychologists have found something strange. The people who enjoy being alone the most are often the ones who understand people the best. Yes, I know. That sounds completely backwards, but once you see what's actually happening inside their mind, you won't look at being alone the same way ever again. Because what if I told you that this isn't about liking silence more than people? It's about what your brain starts noticing once it understands how people actually work. The patterns, the small talk, the fake reactions, the things most people ignore suddenly become impossible to unsee. And that's when something shifts. You stop craving noise and start craving clarity. You stop chasing conversations and start choosing them carefully. And without even realizing, you begin to distance yourself, not because you're broken, but because your mind has changed in a way most people never experience. So the real problem is, are you alone because you want to be, or because you've started seeing something others don't? There's a concept in psychology called cognitive depth. It's the ability to see beyond what's being said and notice what's actually happening underneath. Most people communicate on the surface, words, jokes, reactions, but some people pick up on patterns. They notice inconsistencies. They feel when someone is not being real. They see the gap between what people say and what they mean. And at first, this feels like a gift. You understand people better, you read situations faster, you avoid fake connections. But over time, it comes with a cost. Because when you start seeing too much, you also start filtering too much. Conversations that once felt normal start to feel predictable. Small talk becomes exhausting, not because you're bad at it, but because your brain is constantly searching for something deeper and not finding it. And that's where solitude starts to feel different. It's no longer just being alone, it becomes relief. A space where your mind doesn't have to decode everything. A place where you're not overwhelmed by noise or expectations or the pressure to perform socially. And here's the part most people misunderstand: people who prefer being alone don't always dislike people. They just become extremely selective about who they give their energy to. Because once you realize how much your environment affects your mind, you stop treating your attention like it's unlimited. You protect it, you invest it carefully, and suddenly, a few meaningful connections feel more valuable than dozens of shallow ones. But there is a balance here, because if you're not careful, this awareness can slowly turn into isolation, and not the peaceful kind, but the kind where you disconnect so much that even the right people start feeling distant. So the goal here isn't to escape people completely, it's to understand who actually deserves access to your mind. Because in the end, being alone isn't the problem, but choosing the wrong people always is. And if this made you see yourself a little more clearly, don't just scroll away, because the more you understand your own mind, the less you'll live on autopilot. So subscribe, not for more videos, but for more clarity.